If you ask yourself, why am I here? What is my purpose? How can I fulfill my potential? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Lifestyle, Relationships, and Career Human Design Podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Naja from vanessanaja.com. My mission is to help you be on purpose and fulfill your potential by aligning in body, mind, and spirit so you can feel empowered, joyful, connected, and free. I'm so excited to share with you how to do that through human design. If it feels aligned, I'd love it if you subscribe and share. Now let's get to the episode. It's always a good idea to have your human design chart with you when listening. You can get yours for free at my website, vanessanaja.com/free chart. Link is in the show notes.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 25, where we will be talking about the Sacral Center. And this is a really important center. It plays a huge part in determining your human design type. And remember that centers are areas of the chart of your body graph that govern specific types of energy. The sacral center is a motor, and that means that it actually moves energy through the chart. If you have a defined sacral center, and that is the square, the second from the bottom in your chart, if that is colored in, you are a generator or a manifesting generator. And if it is not colored in, you are a manifester, a projector, or a reflector. 70% of the population have the center defined. And this is very significant because remember that when you have a center defined, you have consistent access to this energy and you are broadcasting this out into the world. And when you have the center undefined, you are taking in that energy and amplifying it. With 70% of the population having the center defined, how those of us with a defined sacral use this energy is really impactful to the people that have it undefined. And for those of you that have the center undefined, you are being conditioned by this energy all the time. So understanding how your sacral center is configured and how it works is really, really important. So starting with a defined sacral center, so those generators and manifesting generators. The sacral center is in charge of life force and workforce energy. It is a very powerful motor, and when operating in its high expression, you have consistent access to life force and workforce energy. You're using it in a way that is generative, that creates more energy. And you can think about this. So people with a defined sacral are either generator or manifesting generator types. And if you think about a diesel generator, you fill it up with fuel, you have, or it has the energy to work until it has used up all its fuel. And then it needs to be refueled in order to be able to work again. And how this works for defined sacrals is when you are living in your highest expression, you are meant to wake up in the morning with that generator full of energy, ready and excited to go. You use up that energy throughout the day. Ideally, you exhaust all of it. And then at night, you go to sleep satisfied and exhausted, and you refuel your sacral generator through sleep. Ideally, that's how it works. The sacral center is designed to pull things into it. If you're a generator or a manifesting generator, you may want to go back to the episode about your type, which talks about the strategy of responding. And this is an important aspect of the sacral. That motor gets turned on in response to something that comes to you from the outside world. And when you respond correctly, you are going to have the energy available. You are going to enjoy what you're doing. You are going to feel satisfied. You put this joyful life force energy out into the world. People that have it undefined pick it up from you, and it's just operating in a beautiful and healthy way. It is really important to allow yourself to let things come to you so that you can respond to them. It's important that you're doing work that you really love, and ideally, it doesn't feel like work. You do want to use this energy every day and then go to bed exhausted. And when you're using the sacral motor in that way, in this aligned way, following your strategy and your authority, engaging with the things that you love, again, this is generative energy. When you're using it in an unhealthy way, doing things that you really don't like, not being connected to it, not listening to it, this energy actually becomes degenerative, and you're going to feel frustrated a lot, which is a signpost that you are off track, and you'll actually feel tired and fatigued. So if you're a generator or a manifesting generator and you're not feeling all of this energy you have available to you, and you're tired and fatigued and frustrated all the time, this is a really great signpost that you're off track. And remember, the way to get back on track is through following your strategy and your authority. So again, when this shows up in an unhealthy way, you might try to use this energy to force and push, to initiate, to start things without waiting for something to respond to you. You're using your power in a destructive way that's degenerative. You're burning out because you're doing things you really don't like, that you're not good at, that you're forcing yourself to do. And you're really, in a way, becoming doing work that other people are expecting you to do, or just in a way that just does not feel good. When you are operating in the center in an unhealthy way, this is really challenging for the 30% of the population that has it undefined, because remember, they are picking this energy up from you and they're amplifying it. And when you're operating in the high expression, this is really juicy, like exciting life force energy, and it really feels good to other people when they pick up on it. So we do want to be very aware of what we're broadcasting out into the world so we can make our best possible contribution in all areas. Another way that this energy shows up in an unhealthy way is becoming really mentally preoccupied, not being connected to your sacral response. Remember, I go over the strategy for this in the episode about generators and manifesting generators. So if you haven't listened to that, you'll want to listen to it and really understand how this works for you. That unhealthy state is this fear that you have to push and make things happen or nothing will come to you. And that really is a recipe for burnout. Remember that you naturally draw in life. Life comes to you. And I heard a really cool analogy of this recently. So if you think about a lion in the savannah, it's not running around looking for prey, just, searching everywhere. It's just lying there, resting, chilling until something comes to it. And then it responds to whatever prey it sees, and then it goes out for the hunt. So that is using energy efficiently versus just doing, running around inefficiently, trying to make something happen. When the center is undefined, so you're a manifestor, a projector, or a reflector, you are amplifying this energy. Your access to it is not consistent. You do have it. You can work with it in small bursts. You can be extremely efficient when you're working. You you're really wise about using energy correctly. In its unhealthy state, in its low expression, undefined sacrals can be super overzealous and they just take on too much. They feel this need to do. And this is a big conditioning thing. We are very conditioned to, like, you got to work, you got to hustle. There's so much cultural conditioning and pop culture conditioning around working hard and hustling and doing the thing. And that does work potentially for 70% of the population, but the 30% that have inconsistent access to this life force and workforce energy, that does not work for. And in that unhealthy state, you can feel like you have to do, you do too much, you take on too much, you don't know when enough is enough. You try to keep up with that 70% of the population that do have this defined. You might feel guilty or bad when you are tired and not give yourself permission to rest. And just force yourself to push through and keep going, even though your body is really asking for rest. And it is so important for you to recognize that you were not wired the way that the 70% other percent of the population are, and you're actually not here to work in the traditional way. And the wisdom in the center is really about knowing that you can be very, very successful without all of the hustle. And you can model that for the rest of us. You are very efficient. You know how to delegate work when you're in the high expression of this. You're fantastic about really guiding the energy of other people so that they can do their work in the most beautiful way. And you understand how it works for you, your unique design, to really be to work smarter, not harder. And I know that's a cliche, but that's really what is correct for you. It's very important that you stop identifying with energy that you're taking in from other people. Remember, 70% of people have the center defined, and you're going to be around this energy a lot. So learning to notice what is your energy and what isn't, entering into work correctly according to your strategy and authority. And you can go back and listen to the episodes about manifestors, projectors, and reflectors to get a review about your own strategy and authority. And letting yourself rest when you feel tired. This can be really hard for the undefined sacral, especially if you're amplifying everybody else's energy. Undefined sacrals, especially younger ones, they are the last ones standing at the party. They just keep going. They are amplifying everybody else's energy, and they may not even realize that they are tired and that it is time to rest. Whereas those of us with defined sacrals, like once we get really tired, we're done. Our battery is empty. We need to rest. We need to go to sleep in order to restore that. Undefined sacrals do not have that, switch that lets them know, oh, it's time to rest. So you want to start really paying attention to your energy levels and give yourself permission to rest, to take time to restore. This does not have to look like laying on the couch and doing nothing. It can. If that feels restful and restorative to you and you want to take a bubble bath or just lay around, that's the right way for you to do it. It could also look like going stand-up paddleboarding or hanging out with some friends that you love. There's so many different ways. Things that make you feel restored are the right things for you to do. Giving yourself permission to rest. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. A big part of your wisdom is to tune into that knowledge, that wisdom, that connection, that trust, that all the resources will be there, that you will be supported, and that you do not need to work in the way that we're all conditioned to work. Then that is not correct for you. All right, so let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, another aspect of the high expression of having the center undefined is having healthy boundaries, knowing what work is correct for you and what is too much and what you don't want to take on, and being willing to establish those boundaries and letting people know when you've had enough and you're pretty much done. You're here to lead and guide the process for others, to help other people use your energy more efficiently. And you also want to surround yourself with people that are using their sacral center. So the defined sacrals in your life that are using that center correctly. Because remember, you are taking in and amplifying this energy. So the best way to do that is to be around people that are using this correctly, and also to recognize when you're taking in energy that is not yours and just releasing it when it's time to release. Which leads me to alone time. When you have an undefined sacral center, you do want to make sure you get plenty of alone time so that you can discharge any energy that you've taken on from others. This is going to be really vital for your own health and well-being, and to allow yourself some time to wind down before you go to bed at night as well, just to discharge any energy that you may have taken on. So that is it about the sacral center. Thank you so much for listening. And remember that every aspect of your chart ties into it. Obviously, it makes the most sense to talk about the parts separately for everybody to understand. However, how your chart is configured with all of your definition, everything else that you have defined, and how it all ties together is very much going to influence how you experience yourself. So if you want to understand and learn more about that, I invite you to book a reading at the link in the show notes, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
If you want to dive deeper, I invite you to get a free human design mini reading report at vanessanaja.com/free mini reading, or book a human design reading with me. Links are in the show notes. That's it for today's episode. I know your time is important, and I'm so grateful you chose to spend it with me. It would mean the world to me if you engage with the episode by liking, subscribing, commenting, and letting me know any questions you have or what else you'd like to learn about. And the absolute best compliment is if you share with someone you think will benefit. It really helps me spread the message. Love and blessings to you.